Hey guys, welcome back to more JoshL2 stuff. I haven't recorded this in a couple of days. This week has been kind of off for me in terms of playing the game because I haven't been having the time to do so. But I have time to do it now at 1:30 in the morning because I've been staying up later than I need to. Anyway, we left off on Guidance for Dummies. This level is a pretty long one, but it's for the most part pretty straightforward. It's just a massive teeth guiding level. So the whole idea behind this was I wanted to try to make a series. I think I can just destroy that. I don't think there's any... yeah, that's what the teeth is for. I wanted to try to take a different approach in level design with this set, and I wanted to try my hand at designing a level series, like a series of sequel levels with a common theme, but not necessarily like sequels, as I mentioned, with using Roman numeral 1 and 2 and such. I wanted to avoid doing that. It kind of follows some kind of trend, I suppose, but overall, this is probably the best one of the series. I think the ones after this is Guidance for Beginners, Guidance for Intermediates, and Guidance for Experts. Guidance for Experts is probably the one I'm most known for, but none of the levels in particular are in any CCLP.
Bummer.
That was stupid. Yeah, none of these made it into any CCLP because they all kind of suffer with their own... each one of these levels has its weakness. This one in particular is just a very, very long. I do believe it remains interesting in some way, because it's basically a level, because it's so long and there's so many different parts to it, it keeps you engaged, I feel like, which I think is a good thing, but I do not know. And you can actually blow that one up first if you want to. So I provided some options. So now I gotta guide this teeth all the way out right here. But yeah, there's really not much to say about this one in particular. I just wanted to try my hand at designing a series of levels that didn't follow the standard sequel level format. That's pretty much all there is. Alright, let's actually not die to this. This is my first instance of, oh hey, I can use a teeth monster in a way that I don't think anyone's even done, which is guiding it to clone blocks for you. But you have to get like 8 or 9 blocks out of this. And then when you release it, you have... I don't think I was unfair with the guiding sections. I don't remember though. Okay, so alright, here's the green key. So I use this one. This part of the level is a little confusing because you have tons of options. I don't think... Okay, I do want to go up, but I can't actually go up. So I think I'm intended on pressing that once, but I made this path like loop around like this for some reason, and having to nail like that. Yeah, I want to say I tried a little too hard to make these paths a little too complex. Alright, let's try... No. No. There we go. You don't actually have to do that, but it makes that section a little easier. Or you can just kill the teeth off. Which I'm not the biggest fan of how I designed that part, by the way. There's a lot of things about this level that I'm just kind of like, why? Like this part right here. I'll just press the tank button. Which I don't know what that does. I think I had CCLP3 on my mind when I designed this. Yeah, the blue key just gets you 2 chips. This part of the level is kinda cool, I suppose. I don't know what the toggle button does in this part. And in a dumb boosting section, because why not? Okay. Oh, that's what the thing is for. Okay, so yeah, I think we're getting into the part of the set that I'm not too familiar with anymore. And that's kind of a little mean with the dirt tile. If you clear that, you basically can't solve the level anymore because you can't get the teeth right here at all from this part of the stage. Which is kind of stupid. I don't know why I included it that way. So then we use this block to hold the trap down. Trap is just a simple connection right there. And then this part is okay. This part of the level is definitely a section. It's a little odd in design, but it's not the worst thing. It's just a little awkward, I suppose, is the word. And I'm trying to figure out how I can get the teeth to blow that bomb up. If I even can. Nope.
Bummer.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid. That's kind of what I meant with this whole part. It's weirdly designed. I don't know what on earth I was going for. I think that there's like a super precise, like not a precise way, but there's a very specific method you have to do to get that bomb blown up. And if you don't do it right, you basically what I just did. You can't really complete the level. Yeah, I'm not too huge on this level anymore. I used to be super proud of it. Mostly for creativity and such. I mean, like, cause I've said this before, but when I did design this set, all I had was JoshL2 to look up to. So this was definitely a step up in that mindset, but in terms of what I've designed since then, this is just kind of mediocre, I think. And all this does is it really just gives you chips. Like, I mean, really, all the stuff can be done much later, I'm pretty sure. We'll get that chip on the way back. But since I designed it so long ago, I don't remember what my intended method of designing this was. I don't know if I was trying to be nice and not require a super specific order of things in terms of like item swapping and such. Because the way I've placed the keys you need for the beginning is a little odd, I think. Okay, so we're actually going to make this a little easier, and we're just going to get that chip when we're done here. Yeah, I think right here you have to wait like a super precise step. Alright. Collect the chips as we go, and then we'll move on to where we screwed up at last time. I'm actually going to use this blue key up here. Kind of save some time. I don't know if this actually saves time or not. Just get all the teeth right there, I suppose. Well, I didn't really say anything about this part of the level. I think this was just filler. Like, oh, this needs to take up the whole map because it absolutely has to. Even though it absolutely didn't need to. Alright, so we still need to get that toggle button pressed. Come to think of it, I don't know if anyone's really optimized this level. Not that it matters now, but... Okay, let's see if we can handle this a little better. Okay, that one's blown up now. I think that's the method I intended on. I can't say for sure because I don't remember, but I am 95% sure that is what I intended on the player doing. Really, the only thing I like about this level, though, is probably the structure. The wall format of this is pretty bizarre, to put it lightly. It's very unique in structure, I feel like. That being said, I have kind of tossed the idea around using this level's walls in the level for JoshL2. I don't know if I actually will, though, because of how uniquely structured these walls are. I'm not sure if I can really use them properly, but who knows. If JoshL2 can do it with CC1, I can do it with this level. And the hint said no insults were intended. I don't know why I put that there. I guess I had this subconscious fear of the player thinking I was calling them a dummy for not knowing how to guide teeth monsters. I don't know what I was intending with that hint. I put it there just to not add insult to injury, I suppose. I was really careful with that, but honestly, that hint didn't need to be there. It's just pointless. Anyway, Victorian is this level. I don't know what that beginning even is. A one-shot corridor because this was necessary. Yeah, the title of this level doesn't mean anything if anyone was wondering. I did get a comment from Andrew about Civilian when I played that, if the title meant anything, and I never did mention this, but it doesn't. Civilian was just a random level title I just decided to give the level. It had no relation to anything, no reference to anything whatsoever. Neither does this level. I named it Victorian for whatever reason. This was in a time period where I didn't think super hard about level titles. I just built a level and thought of a name for it after I finished it on the spot. This level, though, it's an oddball. It's very weird. A blob dodging section, not at the end of the level, but you do have to go through this more than once, which is kind of stupid. But I think that has the right amount of blobs, unlike that part from Soak Abandoned Enemies having, like, what, 2 blobs in a 3 by something room? Where do I go with the fire boots? I don't remember. This level's layout is really strange. That's flippers. In terms of inspiration, I don't know what inspired this. It's honestly kind of JoshL2-esque, if I could say that. I want to say Tyler also made a quote-unquote remake of this level in his style, and honestly, his version is pretty legit. It's pretty good. I think he mentioned, or not mentioned, but he kind of brought up playing those levels in a video after this is done. I don't know if I want to do that per se, but it is a consideration since he brought it up. Alright, so we have this part of the level, which is... I had this knack for including bits like this, where you have to run against a clone machine, like this. And now we're forced to wait to blow those up. Alright. So we have 1 chip left, and we have a red key. These hallways, though, is very... It's unlike me to do something like that nowadays. Which is partially a shame, because a lot of CC1 went behind with the these hallway type structures, which is something I don't really focus on much anymore. I worry too much about the level becoming too longer than it needs to, as some people put it. It's really not much of a thing that bothers me. Personally, it bothers most people, though. I really need to learn to not really... I mean, to not care what people think about my levels is kind of... I don't know the proper wording for it, but it's not the right mindset to have. But at the same time, I shouldn't let people control my level design style. Try to convince me to change my design style just because they don't like the way the level is made. I could have been mean by putting an invisible wall around those exits, or like one around the exit, but I didn't do that. I was thankfully not too stupid back then. That's Victorian though. It's a level. I don't really have any strong opinion for it. It's Tyler's version is a lot better. Snowflakes is also not worth really talking about. This is just, I made an ice pattern that looked like snowflakes, and you can touch the border because consistency. Yeah, this level is just kind of eh. This might be fun for those that optimize, but for me, it's just I literally built this ice structure that looked like a snowflake, as what you see right here in this 9x9 window. That's what I made in the editor, and I thought, what if I just put that throughout the entire level and just call it an ice level, ice maze / collection level, even though it's not really a maze. And why not include one-way paths to make it needlessly more annoying? I don't find these types of levels annoying on principle, though. I know Jeffrey's designed a bunch of levels like this. Like, I played at least 2 in Ultimate Chip 5. I think he recently designed something. I can't think of them right now, but I recall a couple in Josh, Ultimate Chip 5 and maybe 4. Like Icy Wasteland from Ultimate Chip 4 is probably the level I'm thinking of. Oh, and this level has a tight time limit too, because why not? And it's kind of cool that you get to see the chip count go down by 2s. I can't argue that that's not pretty cool. That's Snowflakes. I don't know. Let's just move on. In the Rocks. So this was the level I was mentioning after I beat Double Pane, that there's quite a few levels like this where it involves a lot of block pushing. This one was obviously inspired by On the Rocks, because I titled it In the Rocks. I don't know why. I thought that was a clever pun, I suppose. Basically, it's just building bridges along a linear path. I have actually heard quite some, not praise per se, but I have gotten a few decent comments about this level from at least 1 or 2 people. I do know Trevor, when he LP'd this set, he claimed he liked this level, which surprised me, because this is pretty tedious on principle. But I guess he liked the way the level was built, I suppose. Like, sorry. Ultimately, you're bridging to flippers. Like, this long path, you are rewarded with flippers, which I guess is probably the reason why it's somewhat liked, because there's that reward of reaching flippers and just exploring all over the water, which I suppose is cool. But really, this level doesn't really have much other purpose aside from that, which is the sad truth. I want to say this is like the first of 4 levels from that said LP that isn't actually on his YouTube page, because this level was actually about the bring up about the infamous Andrew R rant of Trevor's, which no one, if anyone's watched that LP, no one has really forgotten about it. I certainly haven't. Pretty well known for that. Because of that, the video isn't on YouTube to this day. It's like the only missing episode out of that LP. But I do have it saved on my computer because he did send it through Skype about two, maybe 3 years ago. And it was honestly pretty hilarious to watch back again, because it was, like, not for the rant, but just for the effects and the raging and all this stuff, which was, you know, and being my set, and it's just kind of weird to not see a specific episode throughout the series, you know. So of course it was sent to me since it was my set that was being LP'd, and yeah. So I guess the other little cool thing with this level is you get access to cloners that kind of make the level less tedious, which is probably a good thing, because if you had to go back to the same cloner, yeah, this level probably wouldn't even be in this set. Sorry, I hope I'm not getting sick. And yeah, as you can see, that this level is timed. I never made this one untimed because, I don't know why. I really don't know why I made it timed. My stance on untimed levels is, it's for the most part different now compared to like last year or the year before that. But oh, and instead of getting access to another cloner, you get a shortcut back to the same cloner you're using. Okay, I guess that's cool. Well, yeah, my stance on untimed levels. It's changed now, for the most part, but untimed levels are... I think for a level to be untimed, it has to, like, meet, like, a specific quality, or a specific genre, if you will, of level type, or whatever. That being said, there are some levels out there that are untimed that I don't think need to be, or they're untimed for optimization purposes, or they're untimed just because they're long. If they're untimed just because they're long, of course that's going to be understandable. I mean, let's face it, if Pain from the original game was a legitimately timed level, I don't think it can even be beaten in Link's, because of all the splash delay and how quick it just builds up and adds on to the timer. So of course long block pushing levels like Double Pain, this level, which probably should have been untimed on principle, but I just didn't want to make it untimed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I know during CCLP4 assembly, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in the LP of CCLP4. I did. But one level that a lot of people were in favor for making untimed was Frozen Over. And I'm not really going to get back into that debate, but just as an example of a level that... Oh, here's another cloner. As an example for a level that should have been untimed, but isn't... I guess looking back at it now, it probably wouldn't have been the worst thing for it to be untimed. I don't know why I have this little ice loop. I don't like these ice loops with block pushings. I don't know why I included it. I could have done that better. Well, not CCLP4, but with like other sets like CCLP2, Cloner's Maze, that should have been untimed. I can say that. Mazed In should have remained untimed. Keep Trying, well, Keep Trying has a pretty hilarious bold time. That probably isn't even the bold time. But I do know that level was initially untimed. Warehouse 2 should have been untimed. Checkerboard 1 should have been untimed. The block pushing levels, basically, and the thinking levels. Thinking levels I am in favor for being untimed. But if it involves a lot of thinking, like the longest track, for example, that was without a doubt going to be untimed from the get-go. What are some others? I think Japanese Game Show is untimed. But that one was always untimed, I believe, as well. And there is some randomness involved with it. I do have a few untimed levels in JoshL2 as well. Which I did think about them being untimed, but a good majority of the ones that are untimed are thinking levels or are untimed for the concept, or for an added feel of the concept. I like untimed levels in that context as well. I don't know, untimed levels are just kind of weird to me. Like I have a really weird, probably doesn't make sense feel for my reasons for untimed levels. Like I don't really have a set reason that's valid. It's weird. So about halfway through with the time limit, we're approaching yet another clone machine. I am gonna challenge someone, hi Jeffrey, to make a level with that title. Yet another clone machine. Well, you already used yet another with that one Force 4 level you showed us. I'll use yet another clone machine. Screw it. I love moments where you think of, like, you're just doing random things, like Chips Challenge related or not, you're just doing random things, and you just think of something that would be like, and you just think about it, and you're like, oh, that might be a good Chips Challenge level title. I'm gonna try to make a level like with that. That kind of happened with my level in JoshL5 titled Wildlands. I literally saw that name at a gas station I went to because I had to put gas in my car. I think I was on my way home from work or something. And I don't remember precisely, but I want to say I saw it on like one of those little TV, gas station TV things on the gas pump. And here's the flippers. I saw that on that TV and I was like, I'm gonna make a level with that title. And so I did. I just love little random inspiration bits like that. Alright, now we got the flippers, we have all this exploration we should be doing to collect the chips. And that Force 4 bit is just a shortcut back to the exit, which we will most likely take. I think I tried to use this level's wall pattern as well. I still kind of want to, because it's definitely cool. Like, there's like an inside, and then there's all these little zigzag wall configurations right here. I think that'd be pretty interesting to use those walls. I think I'll try to do that after I stop this recording. Alright, Maze of the Year is the next level. Should I play it? Should I not? It's just a maze, but I'm already at 35 minutes. That mess up in Guidance for Dummies really set this recording off. I plan to get up to level 40, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I think I'm just going to end the video right here, actually. Just for the sake of saving you guys some time, because you had to endure pretty much a restart from the very end of one level to a long block pushing level, where all I really talked about was untimed levels. Which probably wasn't a logical conversation, or whatever you want to call it. But, oh well. So, Maze of the Year, basically this level isn't really that special, but somehow inspired quite a few other designers with this idea. This whole maze has a bug, has one single bug in it. But it doesn't go throughout the entire maze. If you look at it in the editor, the bug follows a pretty, not a precise or not an exact path, but it doesn't go through every single corridor. Like, there's certain corridors the bug never goes through because it just follows the left wall. I didn't intend on that concept, but I think it works in this context. This doesn't exactly take up the entire map either, but it does take up most of it. And every chip is required, and there are no north or east thin walls, or north or west thin walls in this level, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong though, because this was a time where I didn't really care about the way they looked. Now I do. I still can't get over the way they look. They're cool in some designs, but in my designs they've almost never looked good. That being all said and done, I'm going to end the video here, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully the commentary wasn't stupid or boring or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, see you guys later for this level.